Hey everybody, good morning. Apologies for the bedhead. I want to share my lymphatic energy routine with you today, and it is best to do that soon after you wake up. Typically, my morning routine is a little bit of meditation and energy work, some prayer, some tea, and some water with some additives that are specific towards my traditional Chinese medicine constitution, and then I'll progress here towards this as well. We may have a little friend joining us today. I always do lymphatic work for her in the mornings as well, so she'll probably join in and have a few words to add as we're going. My constitution, if you're curious, is water in traditional Chinese medicine, primarily, secondarily metal, but primarily water, which means that my best time of day to wake up are the fire hours of the day, heart or pericardium, which starts at 11 a.m. 11 a.m. to, I believe, 1 p.m. is heart, and then 2 to 4-ish is pericardium meridian. But obviously in the Western world today, and with the job that I have, a lot of the times I have to wake up at 5, 6 in the morning, which is not a good time for a water individual. So I wake up kind of groggy a lot of mornings. I find that what I'm going to show you now, is a necessary part of helping me feel like I'm bright and alive and vibrant regardless of what time of day I wake up at. That's why I want to share it with you. And if you're ever interested in your constitution, then you can go ahead and reach out at the email down below. I charge a very small fee for the basic stuff, but I'd love to share that information with you. And obviously, if you have any questions for me about what that might mean for you, then we can dive in deeper there. But for now, let's move on to the lymphatic work. I like to start with all the major lymphatic areas in the body, and I'm sure that you've heard of the big 6 lymphatics. I do expand upon that based on traditional Chinese medicine knowledge, as well as my own knowledge of studying anatomy. In chiropractic school, we had a very in-depth anatomy class where we were able to actually study a real human body of an individual who passed on, and I retained a lot of that information because I'm a huge nerd, and it's kind of my passion to know everything about the human body and energy that I can. I always like to start at the collarbone, and I find that you can start out with light pats at the collarbone. Starting out with light pats is good because you're going with surface lymph nodes first. I like to start off on the left side every day because that's where the primary lymphatic vessel is that drains all the lymph in your body back into your bloodstream. Lymph is an interesting organ. It does actually drain into the blood, and then from the blood it becomes detoxed and drained out of the body through the liver and the kidneys. So we start with light pats, then we go above and below the collarbone on either side. That's why I'm wearing a tank top today. Sorry if it's a little racy for you here, but it's best to be able to see what we're working with here. And I'll do a little peace sign around the collarbone, and I'll rub on both sides of it. You want to make sure that you're not dragging on the skin, that you're sticking and you're moving the skin across the surface of the body. That's the best way to get lymphatic motion, get lymphatic drainage moving in the body. Little tiny circles is a good way to go. Again, not dragging, just moving the skin across the surface of the body. And then you move on to the other side, and again, light pats to start with. And then little tiny peace sign, little circles, moving the skin across the surface of the body. Yeah. Then I'll move into first the sides of the neck, right around the atlas. So if you want to find out where the atlas is for you, you go behind the ramus of the jaw here into this soft space right below your earlobe. And you'll find if it's genuinely right behind the earlobe here. So if I lift up the earlobe and go underneath, then we have a little tiny divot in that area. It may feel like there's more or less space on either side depending upon the rotation of your C1. This is something that I check if I need to adjust someone in the clinic. What's the orientation that C1 is sitting at for them, determining does it need to be pushed more forward or back if they have a misalignment in that area. But regardless, it's a massive area filled with a lot of lymphatic vessels. So I start there, and I'll do a little bit more firm pats here. So I'm going to use an open hand, open palms, and I'm going to round my fingertips. They're going to be soft, and I'm just going to slap in this area. I'm going to use a little bit more force. Use what feels good for you. You'll know that it's a good sensation. You'll feel it start to reverberate. You'll feel the forces meet in the middle of your neck, and it'll feel kind of like a toothache sensation that alleviates over time. You don't want to spend too much time here at the beginning, right? Over time, especially if you have a day where you can kind of rest into it, you can take more time to do whatever feels good for you. But if you go too intense at the start, you may get some detox symptoms and you'll feel kind of fluish. You may in general, by the way, after doing this. So you want to stay very hydrated. You want to keep your electrolytes up as well, especially potassium. If you can manage it, eating a banana throughout your day, eating some sweet potato or some coconut water, that's a good way to go. Build up your potassium. And I'll do that for just a little bit, because we come back to that in a moment. Then I like to work on the face, which I don't see a lot of in the big 6 lymphatics, but I have spleen qi deficiency, or I'm working on spleen qi deficiency, which in men can lead to diffuse hair thinning on top as well as a receding hairline, right? And my hairline has always been massive. There's a picture of me over there, but all my family's in it, so I don't want to share that in case they don't want to be shared as well. But I've always had huge 8 head, if you will, but it certainly has, as I've approached 30, started to go back a little bit more. And for me, that's because my spleen qi was deficient, and I've been working on releasing emotions and playing with different acupuncture points and foods in my diet in order to reverse that process and make me feel more clear in my body. And I've regained a lot of density in my scalp as well, which is lovely. Regardless, starting with the face, I like to go with the cheekbones and overtop the ears are the most important areas. You're trying to work with the lymphatic system in this case. So we're trying to get reverberations that reach all the way into your brain so that we can get more movement of the CSF and try to get more activation of different things that might be going on with your brain's capacity to detox old fluids and toxins that it no longer needs as well. Yeah. So I'll start with the cheeks. Again, soft, relaxed hands, and we clap the cheeks right here. Sorry for any inappropriateness that comes from that result, but that's not what I meant. Keep it in your pants. Over top the eyes can be nice as well, nice and gentle, soft hands. Over top the forehead, or in my case, the 8 head. It's good to love yourself and accept yourself regardless of what you look like. I love the way that I look. A little body positivity never hurt anybody. Go around the ramus of the jaw here as well, on both sides, stimulating some of the salivary glands. Parotid gland is in this area. But there are other lymphatic vessels around the jaw as well. You could do some internal work if you wanted to as well. I may make a video about that in the future. If you're ever interested, let me know. And then we go over the ears. Cup the palms. You want to aim right in the center of the cup, over top the ear, and you're going to go gentle. You're trying to get the timing the same on both sides. You'll hear a little bit of ringing when you do this, but this I find is the best way for me to stimulate all the lymphatic things, all the lymphatic vessels in the brain, and it makes me feel the most clear out of anything in this whole process. So we cup the palms and we gently clap over both ears, like so. It's kind of an intuitive process. Again, you'll feel that sort of toothache sensation. I just wait until I feel a minor change. Any minor change in the sensation that you feel in terms of the reverberation inside is fine. Again, we're not looking to clear it out completely. You can do more or less work on a day when you feel like you have time to rest and take it easy afterwards, because if you go too far, you're going to need to rest and take it easy afterwards. You can also do a little bit of scalp stimulation or scalp massage at this point, if you like, as well, especially if you are aware that you have spleen qi deficiency. That's not a bad idea. The spleen is another massive lymphatic organ in the body, and it's responsible in traditional Chinese medicine for the transportation of blood and nutrients to all the different organs and all the different areas, including the skin in the body, skin and hair follicles, which are buried deep in the skin. Yeah. You can also go at the back of the neck, so I go right to the base of the skull here, and I'll, again, gentle taps in that area. I'm aiming diagonally upward, so it's like I'm patting and aiming for my eyebrows here. Cool. And then from there, we do little rubbing, right, all over those areas. Oh, pardon me, I have a fly here. A little tiny fruit fly. Same thing as the collarbone, though, right? We don't want to drag. We want to contact the skin and move it across the surface of the face. So I'll just do it with a big palm. I'm not looking for specifics here. If you want to do lymphatic drainage with direction, you can look that up online. We can talk about that a little bit later too, but also the evidence is kind of varied in whether or not that's actually beneficial for you. The most important thing is just movement in general, not that you're dragging it a specific way, right? You are, for the most part, incapable of forcing fluid to move in a direction through the lymphatic vessels. There's so many lymphatic vessels, and they're a network of spiderweb-like things. They don't move in straight lines. So you can try with your hand to move it in straight lines, but really the most important thing is that you're getting any movement at all, and the drainage is something that your body will facilitate on its own. Yeah? So I'll go forehead. And again, if you want to, you can do the scalp. I'm going to save that for later so that we can save some time here because we're already at 11 minutes and we have the rest of the body to do here, you know. Cheeks, corners of the eyes here. And I'll grab the entirety of my cheeks. And I'll get above the lip and around the nose. Move outward towards the jaw. Not that you have to, I just like to. And underneath the chin. Same thing. I just do it because it helps me keep track of when to stop, right? Okay, then we can move on to back of the neck where we were patting earlier, and again, little tiny circles. And then we move on to my favorite part, which is working with all the lymphatic vessels that are, again, more to do with the glymphatic system, more to do with draining out the lymphatics that are running through the deep parts of the face and the head and the neck. I'll go underneath the ramus of the jaw here. If you consistently do this over time, what I have noticed is that I've lost everything that I thought was fat or a double chin underneath here has just cleared straight up over the past 4 months or so. I think most people, because we sit all day, have a lot of backup of lymphatic fluid in their well, underneath their chin, but also potentially in their minds, right? Feeling groggy, feeling brain fog over long periods of time. Potentially we just don't have enough fluid movement in the body in general, right? We don't move enough in general, but that's likely true in all different areas of the body, including your brain. Your brain needs motion for you to feel good. Your brain needs your body to move in order to feel good, because everything in your body needs your body to move in order to feel good. Okay, so I'll still do pats. I'll tilt my head. I'll look up a little bit, not a lot, just a little bit, and I'll tilt my head away and I'll pat underneath the chin, and I'll involve all of my neck here as well. So I start with the fingertips underneath the chin, and I'm going to show you here. Each pat, I start here again until I feel that toothache sensation start to change, and I'm right under here. You want to be very gentle in this area. This is your styloid process in this area. It's a bony part at the base of the skull, what a lot of your hyoid muscles attach to, and you don't want to hit it too hard because it is it's a fragile bone. Yeah, it's not going to break unless you like get in there and you like thwack it with a baseball bat or something, but you still don't want to bruise yourself in that area. So we're gentle around this area, and then I'll round my palm again, and I'll move all throughout the front of my neck, and I'm obliquely hitting the side of my thyroid cartilage. In men, that would be called the Adam's apple. Yeah, like so. But I like to do it with a bit more force. And then we'll finish up with the collarbone again, a little bit more firm, so that we can hit those deep lymphatic vessels that actually drain into the heart. Yeah. So we're here. You don't have to spend much time here. I don't tend to. This tends to be the quickest part for me. you'll see my Adam's apple is bouncing. I'm getting in there with a good amount of force. It's not hurting me because I'm not directly pumping into the Adam's apple from the front. I might do that a couple times here just because I feel like I need it today. Quick. And then I'm here. This is the most important part for me. This is how you can stimulate the thoracic duct, which is that big lymphatic vessel that drains into the heart. I'm going to cut my palm, and I want to be right in this crook where the collarbone is here, and the neck starts to move up. You have this little triangle here, and I'm going to, boom, I'm going to hit right there, right in that space. So again, my thumb is kind of below the Adam's apple, below the thyroid cartilage here. Soft hand. This one will feel a little funny. Especially if you get it right, it'll be a little weird feeling, but it'll be that same thing. You'll hit this area for a little while, and then you'll start to feel a change. Like right now, I just felt it kind of go, and I don't know what that means. I don't know exactly what happened there, but I'm assuming fluid motion. Yeah. Same thing under here. Look up, turn your head towards the other way, and gentle pats along the jaw. Really gentle around that styloid process. And then palm on the side of the thyroid cartilage. You're not going over top of it here. You're not bumping the top of the throat. You are very close, but you're not bumping the top of the throat. And then start over, do one more run through here, real quick. And same thing, we have that little triangle here, collarbone to here. Let's see, our right side of the body. Right side of the body, there's another lymphatic drainage vessel that moves into the other side of the subclavian vein that eventually goes into the heart. It drains less of the body, but it still does drain the body. It's the second most large lymphatic vessel in the body. And again, until you feel a minor little change, you just kind of thump there for a few seconds. And that was enough. I already felt something kind of open up and just shift inside. Cool. So from here, I like to then go down to the bottom of the body first, right? All right, we've opened up everything up here, but where does lymphatic fluid move? It all moves towards the heart. So I'm starting up here because it helps me feel more clear and awake and alive. That's really the only reason that I start at the top of the body up here. Then I want to move down to the backs of the knees, popliteal lymph nodes. Yeah, popliteal lymph nodes. I'm going to stand on a surface over here so that you can see what I'm talking about. Ooh, hang on, there we go. Backs of the knees. Yeah, and same thing. You just want to concuss and rub. We missed that earlier here as well. We concussed. You also want to rub. Nobody's perfect, and it is still first thing in the morning for me, so my brain is a little still catching up with me. I hope you'll forgive me. Yeah, cool. Same thing though. Slap the backs of your knees, friends. Can you see me over here? It's hard to see me over here, isn't it? Slap the backs of your knees and rub. Slap the backs of your knees and rub. The next part I'm going to spare you watching me do, but it is important. Yeah. Major lymphatic vessels are all around where your hip attaches into your pelvis. So what you want to do, just like later we're going to get in the armpit, apologies for the hair, you also want to get in the leg pit. Yeah, so if you're a guy, and if you're a lady, you still want to protect yourself. You're going to need to cup your stuff and move it over to one side. And I like to go gentle, soft, relaxed. Look at this. It's not clenched. It's soft. I'm going to use this to thump around where my leg meets into my pelvis. And it'll be right off to the side of your junk. You also want to pull forward and thump right up underneath at the pelvic floor. I'm not going to do that here. I'm going to do that after I'm done recording. But you want to do that, and you want to spend a little bit of time there again until you start to feel a change, just a few seconds, right? Let's give you a time here. Let's say we spend 10 to 15 seconds there, and that's it. And then same thing. We patted, so we rub the area, and it's the same concept. I'm not dragging. I'm moving the skin across the surface of the body. Then we move on to the anterior pelvic In the abdominal stuff, you have more lymphatic vessels on the right side, so it may be more tender for you on the right side, but you want to spend some time on both. Okay. And we have our friend. She's excited because it's her turn soon and she knows it. Okay, so we're up here. You want to go just above the pubic bone into this fatty part of the pelvis here, right? So I would say like the lowest part of your abdomen. And same thing, loose, soft fists, almost open hand, really loose, and you're just going to thump that area. And I like to go all the way up the belly here. And I'll spend some time here for a little while just because it feels really good. And there's a lot more space in the body that you're reverberating through in these areas. I also like to go front and back on the same side. So we're working on the left side right now. I'm going to be on the left side with my right hand, and I'm going to hit my paraspinal muscles on the left side with my left hand. Depends on how much shoulder mobility you have. Don't hurt yourself here, but I'll go up to about where my rib cage meets my spine, right? The rib cage ends at about the 12th vertebrae here, but you'll notice there's a soft part in your side here between your pelvis and where your rib cage begins. You're aiming at about in the soft spot, but on the back of the body. And you're just concussing those areas, trying, again, like we did in the neck, to line up the timing. You're trying to hit at the same time here and here so that those forces meet in the middle of the body. They create vibration in the middle of the body. And we just spend a little bit of time here. Really very minimal. That's about it. We switch to the other side. My cat's getting impatient with me. She's sitting on the floor and blinking at me and wagging her tail, flicking her ears back. That's about it. Cool. So from there, again, we rub, but these lymphatic vessels are deeper. Yeah? So what I like to do, you can decide what works for you. We have two options here. Either you can make the, it's kind of offensive, but you know that on TV shows they show Italian people doing this a lot, and this is a good shape to put your hand in to massage deep lymphatic things in the abdomen. You can also do this and use your knuckles if you prefer. I find this can make your forearm a little bit tired. So if you find that this is too stimulating and it makes your forearm ache, then just go with knuckles. I'm going to show you knuckles for now because it's easier. I would say this is more the beginner level. You can go a little deeper with these, but we're starting out here. Yeah, you don't need a whole lot of pressure. Again, it may be way more tender on the right side than the left side. Okay, so I'm going to step over my cat here. It's okay. I know, I'm not going to step on you. Yeah. Okay, so again, we're above the pubic bone. Pelvic lymphatic vessels are in a triangle, so you want to hit two areas, right above the pubic bone, and then just a little bit lateral, closer towards where the actual hip bone gets firm in the front, but you want to go above the top of it, right? If you go at the level of your pelvis here, you go at the level of the bony part here, you're going to stimulate the ligament, the inguinal ligament in that area, and it's not going to be very fun for you. So I would go just below the level of the hard part of your hip, and you're going to use your knuckles, and you're going to dig in, and you're going to make little circles. And then above the pubic bone, little circles. And then either side of the belly button, we're just moving up, little circles. And then if you want to, you can also do a little grip with a claw around your belly button here and move it one way. That's tender on me today. Lots of lymphatic vessels around the belly button. And then the claw on the other hand and move it in circles the other direction. Yeah. Obviously this is taking some time today because I'm instructing you as you practice more and more. In the morning, this takes me like 5 minutes. The more that you get used to it and you do it, it's super quick to do because you only need a couple of seconds in each area, but right now I'm just describing each area to you. Then we move into the chest and the armpit. If you work out chest, you're going to want to spend some time thumping the actual muscle too, whatever feels good. I like to make sure that I feel the muscle bounce, and that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to feel it go hul, 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 and if I can do that, then I know I'm stimulating the muscle tissues and I'm helping with lymphatic drainage, and also because I work my chest a lot as a chiropractor, help out with any lactic acid drainage through the muscle tissue as well. Yeah, so we thump the chest on both sides if your chest is active. If not, don't worry about it. We go right to the armpit. Same thing. Loose, soft hand, fist would be best. Open palm is going to clap. That's not going to feel as comfortable. Loose, soft fist is best. And I'm going to go all around this area. I want to hit diagonally at the front and diagonally at the back. So I'm aiming forward towards the front of these chest muscles. I'm aiming back towards my lat and into the back of my shoulder blade. And then I also want to clap right on top of. Yeah, so I'm going to do 3 different motions here. I'm aiming forward with the first one. Just a few claps is fine. You'll feel the area bounce regardless of if you're male or female. Then we aim for the back. Again, soft hand, soft fist, and then right on top. Same thing on the other side. Aiming towards the front, aiming towards the back, right on top of the armpit. Then you take your palm, open palm, and you make little circles throughout the whole armpit. And what I like to do, because a lot of these lymphatic vessels are clogged, especially in women, but in men too today. You know, gynecomastia, man boobs, is on the rise at the moment. So all of our lymphatic vessels in this area can also be contributing towards that. So I'll grab the muscle fibers of the pec, which again is the front of the armpit here, and I'm going to grab that, and I'm just going to kind of shake it up a little bit here. And that helps drain all the primary areas of lymphatic stagnation in the area of the breast, whether you're a man or a woman. There are more points that we can use, but I know this video is getting pretty long. So if you want a more in-depth traditional Chinese method that we can utilize that involves more meridian-specific stimulation, where we can stimulate specific acupuncture points as well, then I'll add that in later. Let me know if you're curious. But after this, I'll bounce. If you can't bounce, if you have ankle or knee issues, then I would get a vibration plate after this and just spend even 5 minutes is fine on the vibration plate. Just let everything shake around. But otherwise, what I'll do is I'll hop and bounce around a little bit. Pardon me, getting energy moving. And in the process of this, what are you doing, right? You're shaking your organs and all the lymphatic vessels up and down, and you've just opened them up with all this patting and this rubbing. Now you're getting more stimulation to try to get the fluid to bounce up and down. You're trying to get it to move more aggressively through those areas so that we get more drainage. And over time, right, again, it took me about 3-4 months to notice a change in the shape of my face, but it has been fairly significant. Over time, you'll notice this change become more and more noticeable in your body. My belly has also gotten like flat since I started doing this. There was a pooch that I could never get rid of in spite of being a pretty slender fella, in spite of being a pretty lanky guy. And I always wondered what that was, and it wasn't fat. It was lymphatic fluid. Now my belly's flat. After doing this for about 4 months, my belly is flat as can be. And I'm happy about that. That's a good thing. But really, the part that I'm happy most about is that I get to feel better and feel more alive in the mornings. So we're just going to hop. I like to hop anywhere from 100 to 200 times in a row. And they're just gentle hops, right? You don't need to be like jumping. You can just, you want to make sure that your shoulders are relaxed though. I feel safer when my tongue is up against the roof of my mouth as well. Just feels better in the cranium. Good for stabilizing all the cranial bones. Anyway, you get the idea. Hop for about 100 to 150 times. It is now my cat's turn, so we're going to move on towards that. I'm going to stop recording. If you have any questions for me, please reach out. If there's anything that you'd like me to involve more of here, please reach out. And if you'd like to know your traditional Chinese medicine constitution, please again reach out to the email down below. If you'd like any treatment in the clinic, we work with a lot of different things for patients with pain or difficulty with processing different emotional traumas that have happened in their life, more from a traditional Chinese medicine standpoint. It's not psychotherapy, you know, but we've seen a lot of people get a lot better. And if you'd like to spend some time with us, then we'd love to spend some time with you. All right. Take care. Have a beautiful day.